Welcome to Black Women's World Podcast. It is SistaNista Time. Well, hey y'all, it's TRACYMAC. We're on the road again. And listen, I want to tell you a story. You know, when you're on the road and you're not driving, you get to nap, think, just be quiet or whatever. And this story came to mind. And so for all my fellow storytellers, story keepers, and those that like to hear a story every now and then, we had a neighbor named Miss Booth. And we lived directly beside Miss Booth. And there was just a thin wire fence that separated the yard. So you could see straight through, but you just had, this little fence, a transparent barrier. And Miss Booth had the most beautiful gardens. I mean, she could grow the biggest vegetables and fruits and even things other people had a hard time growing. I mean, just about anybody can grow tomatoes and cucumbers, it ain't too hard. But she grew things, and then she would always have an abundance, and she would give away. And she'd give us a lot of things. And I just noticed how beautiful it was. And then I also noticed there was an area in her yard that had a little hedge and a wall up. And that wasn't visible. And I always wondered what was over there. Whenever somebody doesn't want you to see something, that's when you really want to see it. And I used to wonder, what is over there in that other corner of her yard? And she's not using it to grow more beautiful vegetables and fruit and, wonder what it was. And so one day, I was hanging out clothes, and this is how long ago it was. And Miss Booth was hanging out clothes. And we spoke, and I said hi, and I went to the fence. And just when I got to the fence, I could see this beautiful section of her yard I had never seen before, with these beautiful flowers. I mean, exotic looking flowers. I'm not talking about the roses, even though they're beautiful, and tulips and mums. Most country women can grow them, but not me. But I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about flowers I had never seen before. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I said, Miss Booth, where did you get all those flowers from? And she said, oh, they've been there. And I said, I've never seen them. She said, that's because I had a wall up, and I had to protect them and give them a greenhouse effect, because these flowers don't usually grow in this area. And I said, wow, they're beautiful. She said, you want to come see them? And I walked all around out of our yard to the street, to walk into Miss Booth's yard, to go around there just to look at those beautiful flowers. And she said, you can touch them. And she said, when they grow a little more, I'm going to cut them, and you can have some too. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was just so intrigued by the beauty, the pinks and the reds and the oranges and and I couldn't even tell you the name of the flowers, but I will never forget how they looked. And she said, I had to have the wall up to protect them. But now that they've matured, I want everybody to see them. And I thought about that thing now as we were riding. Sometimes our life is like that. Sometimes in our lives, that when we have something that's brand new that we want to protect, and we're not quite sure if it's strong enough to stand alone, we'll put support around it. We'll build a hedge around it, a hedge of protection around that thing. But oh baby, when that thing matures and you have fertilized it and watered it and cared for it to the proper specifications, and that thing matures, and you take that wall down because you want everybody to see, and you want to share it with people because it's so beautiful. And that just reminded me of life. Sometimes you have support that's good for what you needed it for then, but when that thing matures, and you got to take that support down, because sometimes the support blocks the view from the very thing that you have been nurturing and that you wanted to make beautiful. So whether it be Miss Booth's flowers, rest in peace, Miss Booth, or whether it be your life, know and be sensitive to realize and understand and be gentle when you got to turn the hedge that once protected the flower into the place where you've got to remove the wall from obstructing the view. I'm grateful, and I love you for real. Peace.
An Amazon best-selling author with an Art Book Club Incorporated 5-star rating and your self-discovery companion, TracyMac is setting positive change ablaze with her 3 incredible books. Looking for an interactive resource that reveals how to strategically overcome obstacles that can hinder you from developing your purpose and consistently enjoy the limitless benefits of living your best life? Well, grab your copy of TracyMac's book, The Book of Purpose, The You Testament. Through true stories, real-world examples, and thought-provoking questions and principles, you can make your best dreams a reality and achieve big goals that sustain peace in your life. Your solution has arrived. If you are ready to live an amazing life of change with sustainable results and measurable success, get your copy of one or all 3 of these awesome books where fine books are sold today to start your journey.
You've been listening to Black Women's World Podcast, the BWWP, brought to you in part by TRACYMAC Solutions for Life Institute, coaching and training services. No doubt you have enjoyed being in our world, and it doesn't have to stop here. Head on over to blackwomensworld.com. This is my personal invitation to you to stay connected with me on social media and more. I'd love to see you there, and I'm so grateful you came to be with me here. Invite someone else to join you in our queendom next time so they can feel the vibe of our tribe of SistaNistas and SistaNista lovers too. Remember to be kind, be authentic, be generous, be excellent, be grateful, and while you're at it, go ahead and be extraordinary, because that's just what SistaNistas do, on purpose, through mission, with passion and compassion. It's a Black woman's world, baby, and you, my SistaNista, are proof. I'm your self-discovery companion, your professional peacemaker, and your host, TracyMac. Wherever you are in the world, may you love and be loved by somebody. Peace.